Welcome to Sweeping the Country one more time. And my co-host, Mr. Jimmy Carter, here today. And Jimmy, I am sick and tired of talking about politics.
Well, it's just politics is so depressing. It just makes you want to turn it off. And particularly after this week where they put a bunch of stuff up and nothing happens. And, you know, even the Republicans can't agree on anything. The Democrats don't know what they're doing either. They're just trying to get reelected. And both Trump and Biden, you know, they're not your Jim candidates. And even the Haley, whatever her name is.
Nikki,
Nikki Haley.
Yeah.
Is their name? See, she's even got name problems. I can't even remember her. Nothing. What was the Nevada thing where none of the above beat her? So I mean, I'm not talking about any of that stuff this week. It's just pitiful.
Okay,
just
all right,
pitiful.
Fine. Let's go a different direction.
It is Super Bowl week, and I think that's there's a record number of Americans who are betting now.
I saw that.
Betting was such a forbidden thing. It was allowed, just segmentally in.
That's right.
In Nevada. And then in New Jersey, in Atlantic City, and it just couldn't branch out. Then all of a sudden, and why the NFL did this, I don't know. All the team, everybody did it.
Yeah.
Put other stuff on television,
right?
Where all these commercials about betting and it's just the same way they did the internet.
I'm so glad.
We were just talking about how the internet was. They just let anything go.
Yeah.
1 minute, a Playboy magazine is kept under the counter
at
the 7-Eleven. Next thing you know, there's porn.com where anybody can have all they want anytime they want for free.
Right. They just ask you a question. Are you 18? Yes. Okay, sure. Come on in.
It was once. It's just, wow. I mean, so the gambling is, I mean, I don't know. Have you ever gotten it?
I really don't gamble much at all. And I had the same reaction that you did with the commercials on TV. I thought, wow, I'm really surprised that the NFL is so behind this.
They went all in.
They really did.
And then the government must have, the government's been making money off this lottery thing in most states.
Yeah, that's right.
Still.
Yeah.
Alabama, doesn't have it. And, but I mean, it's just, and I don't know that it's a Republican or Democrat issue.
I don't
really.
either. We have it here. We can play Powerball and Mega Millions. We can play
all that stuff. Well, Florida, Florida with DeSantis, they've been in the gambling business, except they're weird. You can have lottery. I won $10,000 in a scratch off in Florida.
Wow.
You've always had horse racing, and you used to have dog racing when that was around.
Yeah.
Those were in various places across the state. The Hard Rock Casino, I won the slot machine there.
Yeah.
That's on the outskirts of Tampa. There's another one down there near Fort Lauderdale, and there's probably other gambling things, but they've never been able to get the gambling going in like a Miami. You'd think they'd let one of the hotels.
Yeah, really.
But they never had the political juice to get that through the legislature. But I think that would hurt, the Seminole Indians. I think they have a big lobby.
Well, I was going to say.
In Alabama, for example, there is gambling in the state. There's the Indian people.
I was going to say,
Wetumpka, Alabama, Atmore, Alabama. I know it's those two locations. Have big casinos.
Yeah. And
they don't let them do everything, they don't, it's weird. Sometimes they let these people do slots.
Yeah.
To me, the slots is the most manipulatable. But anyway, table games, they won't ramp up to do those, or rarely, like the craps.
I don't know why. But I've noticed that too, and I've seen Indian casinos just about everywhere I've gone. It doesn't seem to be limited to certain states.
California has poker places.
That's right.
It's weird. Why is that okay?
I don't know.
And you can't. I mean,
I don't know.
Just, we're very weird about gambling.
Do you think
they say that it's an unbelievable amount of money that was bet this year on the Super Bowl? It's billions.
It is billions, and it's up billions from last year. But I was going to ask you, do you think the fact that the NFL went all in with, they got Jamie, what's his name? Oh, what's his name? I can never remember the guy's name. The comedian. He's doing all the
the one that he played Ray Charles.
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx.
Right. They got him with the MGM or whatever these different companies are. But
Kevin Hart's doing something.
Kevin Hart. You got football players that are even endorsing it, right? Even players are saying, "Hey, come on."
Well, let me just say this. I mean, I went through a period in my 30s.
Okay.
we were all gambling at the TV station.
Yeah.
The mailman was the bookie. He would come around and take the bets. We bet in baseball season, football season, and all that.
Yeah.
If you're betting on a game,
Mm-hmm.
it's more interesting. You care about the game. You watch it differently.
Oh, 100%.
Because it's you care about it all.
Mm-hmm.
But it is an addiction. It is. You can get in a lot of trouble. And people, it's the same way with people that do these that play the stock market, that play those penny stocks and go in there and do day trading and all that stuff. You can turn your butt upside down even if you have a strong moral compass and a strong family.
Sure.
People who are gamblers are usually gamblers in a lot of other things.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no doubt about it.
I think they're the ones we're going to try to make this red light. It's just they're very competitive, and I think you'll find a lot of salespeople who are good salespeople. But some of them are so tight they're not going to gamble. But I know a few that have the gambling personality and love it. And then some, go the whole Monty, where they go out to Vegas and Vegas camps their room and they do all this other stuff, for you. And that can't be good. Those are people that have so much money they can't even almost get rid of it.
Well, now I'll have to tell you. So there's a place called Laughlin, right? Laughlin, Nevada. It's off.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's right on the river, and it's kind of
middle of nowhere. But
it is the middle of nowhere and desert, right? It's like they tried to do a little mini Vegas, and it didn't quite work, but it's still beautiful. My mom,
the Oak Ridge Boys played there for a long time.
Yeah, they have a lot of shows.
Is it still there?
Oh yeah, the Don Laughlin's casino, and they have. There's about 4 or 5 that I can think of off the top of my head.
All on that river. Okay.
I think Caesars has a place there, but my mom is a regular gambler. She'll go there and she'll win. She'll win each time they go, $1,000, $2,000. She'll go and she'll have a great time. They comp her room. They give her flights, Jimmy, to bring in people like me to fly in and gamble. And I'm not a huge gambler. I may play a football pool like in the Super Bowl once a year, or something like that. But she goes once a month.
When you go, they didn't build all those buildings in Laughlin, in Lake Tahoe, which is a beautiful gambling site.
That's true too, yeah.
Or Reno, which not beautiful, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I've been to all these things.
Yeah.
In the casino across from Detroit, and just was at State Atlantic City. That's where we had
I've never been. Yeah.
This past week, past summer, we went to a couple of nights in Atlantic City. I really used to go to Vegas, and I've seen everybody there. In concerts. Everybody.
Yeah.
That I've seen, and it was great, particularly country artists that I got to track down there. From Garth to Johnny Cash,
how great,
to Mel Tillis,
to
Roy Clark, to all those shows. Barbara Mandrell, Oak Ridge Boys, all of them. I've seen them all.
Jimmy, where did they get all the money to fund all that? Where did they get it? All that
losers.
Right.
They got it from losers.
Right.
And they used to have 99-cent breakfasts and every other thing they could do to lure you into that. But now it's so institutional. It's like adults don't go to Disneyland, they go to Vegas because it's the adult Disneyland where there's everything going on. But gambling, if you're an addictive personality, gambling can really ruin your life.
Yeah,
you can lose your money really fast.
Mm-hmm.
You can lose it really fast because I watch it on the holidays, and I don't know if things are fixed or not. I won't say that.
Yeah.
But I've just, having been there and watched this up close, I've seen people play colleges on Saturday, and they play some of the early games when they don't even know who these people are.
Yeah.
They're just betting, and they're doing things like a 4-team teaser.
Yeah,
which
right.
Is, you bet on 4 teams, and I can't remember if you get 2 right or something. I don't know.
You pay.
I don't even remember how that plays. No, I know what I remember now. You get a bunch of points. Like if you're going to do an 8-team teaser that could pay $1 million or something.
Yeah.
They give you, like whoever's playing this weekend, they would give you Kansas City plus 10.
Yeah.
Oh heck, I won't. That's a lock.
Right.
I've heard that before. But somehow you lose.
Yeah. You're right, and you lose by 1 point.
Somehow they balance this where you lose, and it's just, it's a bad thing. I got away from it. I mean, there was one holiday period. Hang on a second. See this one? I'm getting these. Might as well just let it go right here.
Yeah.
I've been getting a whole bunch of spam calls
Okay.
lately.
All right.
Have you?
No,
I
nothing
haven't
really.
gotten them for years, and now all of a sudden I'm getting them again. And it says Belmont, North Carolina, or
Ooh.
it can say anything. It's different area codes all the time.
They are
and
working it.
if you answer it, no one's there.
I wonder what
Now
that's
I don't
about.
even answer it.
I wonder
I
if
don't
they're.
know.
I wonder if they're trying to get this. We weren't going to go heavy today. But I wonder if they're trying
Well,
to get
I think they're just trying to get you to see if it's an active number
Well,
for
that could be.
polling or for something else.
Or they're trying to get your voice so they can duplicate it with AI.
Anything's fun. So anyway, the gambling, I'm just telling you, it can be fun
Yeah.
if it's really policed within your family. Like, okay, we're going to bet $20 here or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Scratch off tickets. You know, when I bought the one for 10,000.
Yeah.
Went into the Publix grocery store.
I can't
in
believe
Winter
that's
Park,
a lot of
Florida,
money.
and bought $20. I think $20 or $30
Yeah.
worth of scratch off tickets, and each one I think was $2.
Okay.
Was a $2 ticket. So
10
one,
tickets.
you know, two. Something maybe bought. Yeah, maybe 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I think maybe 10, and one maybe 10 or 15. I don't know, but either way, scratched them all off and won a couple of free tickets, which you'll do.
Yeah.
They won a $2 whatever. Then okay, so I'd put in $20, and I was going to take my winnings, which I think were $13
Yeah.
in winnings. I think that was right. Or I had 5 tickets and I won $13, and I was going to go back and reinvest it,
Sure.
all of it.
That's their
and
money.
Ted
Yeah.
told me, don't do that. He said, just put in $7, so you'll leave ahead. I said, nope, I'm going for rope. So went back in and did the whole thing and scratched, another 5, and one of those was 10,000.
Did Ted
And-
flip a lid when you got that?
Oh yeah, he did. He did. If I had been conservative and tried to, make a profit on that, I would have. Who knows? I probably wouldn't have.
Yeah.
gotten it.
Who knows what
But if
ticket
I
it
went
was?
I went with my hunch. I went with luck,
Yeah.
and luck gave me $10,000. So
Jeez. That's
wow,
that
that
was
was
great.
1990. That was a big win.
That's a
But
lot of money. You
gambling is
could.
very exciting. Your temptation is to take that money and invest it back in there, and
Oh, yeah.
go in there and buy $100.
I'll tell
worth
you,
of tickets,
you talk
'cause
about the
you're ahead
trouble,
when you
you
do it.
can get into, and I agree with you 100%. I was one of the first times I ever gambled with my sister. We were in, I don't know, Circus or something like that, and we were playing craps, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was just betting with her, the field, and the certain numbers and combination double 4s, 8. I was betting, just betting. Lost
Those are all
about.
crap bets. Too.
They
Yeah,
are.
those are all sucker
They call
bets.
it craps. I left with a negative $500 from the table. I went to the ATM and got out more money. I played again, and I lost it. I went back to the ATM, and the ATM said, "No, you've taken out all the money you can for today." So it was about 10 o'clock at night. So we went and got something to eat, and we came back and waited by the ATM till midnight. So it was the next day, and then we got more money. And that's
Well,
when I knew
here's-
I cannot gamble. I cannot do it.
Well, I remember my friend Don and I. We went out there as we were in college,
Yeah.
and juniors or freshmen, sophomores maybe, and we went out to Vegas,
Mm-hmm.
and so we were playing roulette.
Now that's
And
pretty
we've
easy
got a
to play.
system.
Yeah.
We've got a system. And think about it. It's going to be red and it's going to be black eventually.
Sure.
So we stood there, and they have the number, tells you what the last number was.
Yeah.
And so our thing was to, once it's rolled 5 times, let's just say 5 times, we jump in. Like it's gone 5 times red.
Yeah. You jump in
we
on black.
Jump in at 6. Yeah, with black.
Okay. All right.
So we bet on
I
black.
like that. That sounds pretty good. Yeah.
Okay. So it happened, and it was red again. So we had put in 2, whatever the minimum was.
Yeah.
Probably they were probably $5 chips or something.
Okay.
So then we had to put in 4 the next time.
Oh yeah.
So they rolled again to break even. So it rolled again, it was red again.
Oh my god.
So then we had to put in 8 to break even on this roll, but we're going to break even.
Yeah.
Rolled red again. Then we had to put in 16 to stay in there. And we rolled red again. All
Yeah,
right. So we had
okay.
to get some money out of our billfolds.
Right, you're
And
up to
now we got
$32.
32.
Right.
Now we got 32. Now we're running into a problem there because they only allow so much money on the outside bet at any one time.
Ah, so they figured
There
it
is
out.
a limit on the outside, but I think they had to approve it. But anyway, we did it again and went to 64. And then we were tapped out because 64 times 5
It's a good
was a bunch
plan.
of money all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And it started out with a $10 bet.
And all of
And it
that
was up-
was against
And
what
it
you
went
thought.
red each time. It went
Gosh.
red each time. We lost all of our money. We didn't have enough money to buy a Coke.
Yeah.
We had to call back to Alabama and have somebody, I don't remember who did it, maybe his sister or somebody.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody in my family would have done it. Get us enough money to get us out of there.
I wonder,
They had the Western Union, the money. That was back when there was
Before-
Western Union MoneyGrams.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't AT&Ms.
No
ATMs didn't
ATM.
exist yet.
Yeah. Well, now you don't
So
even
you
need
used to have the money wired to you.
now you could just take your phone and probably get money out of your bank and go to the cage
Oh yeah, but
and
then
get it.
you
But-
had to get it Western Union.
so easier to lose it now. But I wonder how many people have
Real
the
lot easier.
same story you have, right? Where it's, and I have
Oh.
it too, where you just go down to pennies and you're like, why? And the
Or
feeling
worse,
you get,
You
when-
get a corporate, you get some kind of credit line, and you're just and they just see you coming.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're owing thousands of dollars.
Yes, sir.
To the casino, and they're going to take your house from you or
Jeez.
take your life from you.
It's true though.
You
It
know,
is
so,
true. It is true. And there's
yeah,
a reason.
you don't come out well owing the man out there.
No, and there's a reason they pump you with alcohol while you're in there, because
So-
two things the
So you'll
NFL's
just be
pushing.
looser and have more fun, and it can be fun, but you get out there and you start gambling on your first hour there,
Yeah,
you can ruin your entire vacation.
you can.
You have to have willpower. You have to, what I found to do is not go for those things quickly. If it's any kind of football season or even baseball season,
Yeah,
I'll go to the sports book
yeah, that's
and
fun.
bet on the game that's tonight or
Mhm.
whatever, and put $50 on the Detroit Tigers,
Yeah,
and that's it.
and then
so,
watch the game.
I've made my bet, and I walk around, do whatever I'm going to do, come back later and see what happened.
Okay, now since I've asked you that, and we're talking about betting and having fun, and it's a problem, it can be a problem for some people, and some people know. So with that said, would you bet on this Super Bowl?
No, I really don't have a feeling for.
I don't
strictly,
either,
I would
and I'm a
bet for
fan.
Luck, like who would score first or who would win the coin toss or something like that.
Yeah.
I would consider, but not. I really, I can't tell who's going to win this game. And I think it's going to be.
You could bet
Who
on
knows?
how long the national anthem is. And by the way, who do you think sung the longest national anthem ever that they've had
I used
at
to
the
know
game?
that. And,
It's-
it's all relatively close. It's
Yeah,
none
yeah,
that
two
are that
something.
far away from each
Yeah,
other.
I think the
Jose Feliciano or something. Maybe, I
no
don't know.
Alicia Keys. Alicia
Alicia
Keys,
Keys.
over 2 minutes, and I think the average is like 140 or 150.
Chris Stapleton knocked it out pretty quick, I think.
Did he? Yeah, most of them are under
think-
2 minutes, but
Yeah.
she went extra
So anyway,
long. But you
no,
can bet on that stuff.
gambling, I just can't believe it's been I can't believe that pornography has been institutionalized where it's just available for whoever wants it anytime.
Yeah.
That gambling is available, as easily as it is because it's destructive.
Okay.
It can be
Speaking
in the
of-
wrong hands. Very,
Speaking
very
of vices, you can also now get liquor delivered to your house.
yeah, we can't in my part of the world, but
Oh, well,
in some
here you
places
can.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, yeah. You can get
not-
booze delivered to your house. You can get a delivery. If you've been drinking, you can call them up and say, hey, I need it delivered. I can't drive. And they'll bring it right to you.
I've tried to stay away. Liquor's not really ever been an issue for me. I've just stayed away from it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to smoke because I had enough trouble with breathing in lungs. So I
Yeah, no
stayed
doubt.
away from that vice. The gambling was as close as I ever got to having any. I really wanted, I love that thrill, the
Yeah,
excitement,
it is fun.
of that.
But it's
And
more fun when you
craps, I
win.
love craps. It's fun. And I enjoy it. But I bet against myself and was losing. Because I kept winning, but I was betting against myself.
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
I'm going to be a loser. And I'd roll, and I was a winner. I sure ain't going to be a winner 2 times. And it was crazy. Then I finally, sometimes you're hot and you can do it. And I
Yeah.
rolled over and did it, and then I won. I want a little bit.
There's definitely a
But
high.
I love roulette. I love roulette. It's slower.
Yeah.
It's slower, but it's it's fascinating in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like cards. I don't play cards.
No blackjack or any of that.
I did enjoy Baccarat.
Huh, I've never played that.
I learned to play that a little bit.
Yeah.
And that was kind of fun. The banker gets a certain percentage every once in a while. That's a strange game, but I don't play poker and I don't play 21 because I can screw it up.
Yeah, I do. I like a little
because
blackjack.
I've done a math problem.
Yeah.
I didn't know. And
you have
so
to
if
be
I'm-
thinking. I mean, you have to be quick, and you have to, you want to split that. You want to double down. What do you want to do?
See, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to bet on the dice or I want to bet on the little ball.
Yeah, yeah. And the
that's
roulette
fine.
is, I think it's pretty, as far as the games go, and I don't know anything about gambling as far as what the odds are to do what, but it does feel like a pretty good game of chance, right? I mean, it's the ball spinning around.
It's 1 through 36, and you bet
Yeah.
on the red or the black or the odd or the even.
Yeah, it
or any
seems
of those
pretty
things.
basic. I mean,
But there's also 0 and 00, and I think they've even added another 0
to make it
somewhere in
harder,
there,
yeah.
or to make it more of a miscommunication thing. But I got to where if I could just sit in that front seat, I would just bet every time on the 000 world.
Really?
If you bet on a number, and probably the same thing would work if you just bet on a number. But if I bet on 0 and 00, it pays 18 to 1 if I put it in the middle.
That's pretty good.
So you've got 18 rolls. You're saying in 18 rolls, the odds are it'll come up, but it never quite gets predictable.
yeah.
And
yeah.
and I don't think they're stepping on a pedal or doing anything.
No,
but you never
I
know.
don't
'cause,
either. Magnets?
Because-
Magnets
but
inside
it's
there?
a math that I don't understand,
Yeah.
and they do.
Yeah.
Because somehow this works very well for them.
Yeah.
All the different games of chance.
No, I agree with you, and I do think that gambling is a problem, or can be, and I watched all these ads with all the pros and all these actors doing it, and I wonder if all that pushing has made the gambling go up, like on this Super Bowl where they really are betting.
Absolutely, they made it easy.
Yeah.
Some states don't allow it, but some states do, and yeah. I mean, it's just liquor's easier, gambling's easier, everything is easier, and it's just. To me, it's just confusing. It's
Yeah.
just confusing.
No doubt about it, and I'm looking forward to. I'm not betting anything on the game. I'm just looking forward to the game. It's the last big football game of the season. I'm excited about that. Of course,
Well, we just picked up a minute ago, because people will be listening to this long after the game
Yeah.
is over with. Nick Saban's going to be on College Football Game Day with Lee Corso and
I
all
like
those
that.
folks.
I like
And,
that. I
and
mean,
that's a good deal, and so he'll give him something to do
Yeah.
in college football season.
how do you think he'll
able to-
be? You think he'll be good on the air?
I think he'll analyze. He'll be the best of the analyzers.
He's smart, that's for sure, and he knows what's
He
going
certainly
on.
knows the game.
No doubt about
Whether
it.
he'll be willing to I don't think he'll be willing to criticize. And I can't imagine that he's going to be picking, but I guess he will.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about seeing what Tom Brady can do in the booth too. I mean, he's coming over to Fox.
I think it's dangerous. I'm sure this season he has to have been working on the weekend calling games in a black
Something.
closet somewhere with somebody.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that's normally what they did. They did that with Madden a little bit. Ran cold games.
Yeah.
So they could review it with him and all that. And hopefully that's what they're doing with not throwing him into the deep end. But,
So he fails.
he's a smart guy, and he certainly is great. And if he's got a good play-by-play guy, he kind of has an idea what to do. It'll be some growing. Tony, what's his name?
Troy Aikman?
Tony.
Or Tony Romo?
No, Tony Romo.
He's great, I
He's
think.
wrong a lot.
He is
I was
wrong.
noticing-
But I enjoy watching. The reason I enjoy listening to Tony is he's pretty fresh out of the game. So he kind of understands the plays and what they're doing and the defenses. And I don't. So it helps me a little bit. But I like Troy Aikman, too. I think Troy Aikman does a nice job.
Yeah, I
too.
did too, like Troy Aikman. So
Yeah.
I don't know. This is all very strange, all that stuff. And football gone for another year. I love baseball. I've always loved baseball. I wish people loved baseball like they used to. They don't.
Let me
I don't
ask you,
understand.
Saban's
Major League Baseball has not done a good job of marketing.
No,
making stars.
I'm going to say something, and you're probably going to get mad at me, and a bunch of people that are listening to the podcast right now might get mad. Baseball has become a little boring.
Yeah, and I don't know why. It
I don't either. Is it too slow of a game?
was always slow.
Is it? So
It was
that's not
always
it.
slow. In
Unless
fact, they've sped it up. They put a clock on the
yeah,
pitcher's
they've
mound.
been trying. Yeah, they've been trying everything. But it is slow. Maybe it's too time consuming for the consumer now because you could sit at a baseball game for 4 hours, and a basketball game's 2 hours. I don't know. But
I don't either.
There's definitely
Basketball
less interest.
to me is I've been watching more basketball this year
Yeah.
than I have been
You enjoying it or no?
because I'm watching Alabama play because they're really pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you just got to have some interest in it. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you've got to care. I mean, baseball is like watching golf on television. It's boring unless you have a player that you're following or
Well,
a team that you're following.
I agree with
know,
you. I agree, but I think some of those players, like, they don't stay with the teams anymore. Like back in the day, you had
Well-
I could name the Dodgers. I wasn't a Dodgers fan, but I could tell you Steve
I can
Garvey
name the-
put, but now I couldn't tell you anybody. I really couldn't. Minus a couple big pitchers that are getting fat paychecks. I don't know who's playing
Yeah,
for
I
who.
can name those. But right, I mean, and yes, as a kid, I could name you who was a lot of people, and that's marketing. I just don't think
Yeah, okay.
they've done a very good job. Major League Baseball has
Yeah.
done a very good job at all of promoting the game. I mean, NFL just keeps building bigger palaces. I mean, look
Boy.
how ridiculous this is. No, number one, NFL wants world domination.
Yeah.
Their first game next year is in Brazil.
I saw that. There must be an audience.
Well, they want to build one.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
They want to build one. And I think, okay, they're trying to stretch it out around the world and all of that. But baseball, they need to do something. Some people talk about bringing cricket over here because we have so many, people from other places. Cricket's big around the world. Not like soccer is, but
And for some reason here, soccer has never really taken off. I mean,
it has. Well, it kind of has now, though. I mean,
are people going to the Seattle
kids are
Sounders
going.
game?
I mean, if you go out there on Saturday morning in Nashville, Tennessee,
Yeah.
by any field that used to have a bunch of football players,
it's
it's all soccer.
Well, I mean, I remember playing as a
100%.
kid. I played soccer, but I don't know.
I don't enjoy it. I mean, my grandkids go and I like to watch them
Yeah.
run around, but to me, football is just no comparison. But mamas don't want their kids to get hurt and brain injury.
There's that too. I mean,
so see football. I mean, I really do think that NFL better enjoy their time because I think that football in itself. That's why they tried flag football this past week.
yeah.
They're trying things that don't have injuries because this head injury thing. I know one of the guys that died, Frank, who was the tight end for the Titans, and Frank Wycheck, and he recently died, and as a result of that head injury stuff that he had.
Yeah.
So mamas don't like that. Mamas don't want their babies to grow up and get their head knocked in a football game. So
yeah, you're right about that. It is a
so I'm
gladiator
telling you,
sport, man.
The farm team is drying up. The game may itself be more popular than it's ever been, but I'm telling you, you go to any metropolitan area, and the soccer is what's going on in the school.
Wow, interesting.
And another thing that's happening, this is another one of those Generation X and Y and Z and all the millennials, is that the high school, the marching band
Yeah.
concept is kind of going away.
Oh, that's too bad, man. I have been enjoying going to over the football season, the BSU football, and now basketball too. But the football, I enjoyed the band. I
love it.
It was great. They come out on the field and do the national anthem and the giant flag, and
They work as hard as the football team
I
does.
agree, man. I agree.
They
They
work
are
maybe
moving.
even harder. I mean, they have a hard.
I
They
hate
work
to
hard.
see that go.
And-
I would hate
but
it.
the farm team, go back. Are people taking music lessons, piano lessons, and stuff like they used to? No,
Yeah.
because music one of the first things they cut in school, and it's one of the things that some trade organizations try to work on to get people interested in it. But you got to start early, getting
Yeah.
people interested in playing instruments,
Yeah.
and particularly the horns and things like that.
I agree, and I think a lot of it's become digitized. so that you can create something without actually having the talent.
You can't create a marching band out there with a keyboard.
That's true. But I mean, you don't necessarily have to look at the internet superstars that rise up with. I mean, you did this as a living, teaching at Belmont for a while, and I mean, these people that are sensations on the internet that may not have as much talent as the person that went to Juilliard, but the success might be there. You know, it's crazy how that works.
Technology is, you don't need to be able to be Alexander Graham Bell.
Yeah.
When you're running around with this cell phone, it's got more computing power than the people that went to the moon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. But times change. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
The marching bands,
that's a bummer.
high school bands, they're not in their glory days. In some parts of the country, it's still fat because it's multi-generational. And I guarantee you, somebody who played in a band, I bet most of them have their kids prepared to pay.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
They're like a cult, the band parents.
That's true. It is true.
But in general, I don't think it's doing well. And the football stuff, as hot as it is, they're soccer, like in these major cities, they've all got soccer stadiums now. They're not just sharing with the baseball and football.
Yeah, I mean that is true. I mean, I see Seattle's team, at least on the West Coast. You got San Jose's got their teams, and I'm sure there's a bunch of them. And one of the shows that got me a little started on soccer, and I'll watch a little bit if it's on, was Ted Lasso on Apple. That started me watching.
I enjoyed Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Again, soccer, even when the great people are playing, one of my favorite movies is with Stallone and called Victory.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever get to see it, it's about a prisoners of war playing the Nazis in a soccer game.
I'll be darned.
And they have opportunity to escape at halftime, but I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
But
I'll
that
watch
is
it.
one of the great, I don't know where it is, but it's Victory.
Okay.
With Stallone, and I can see him right now, but I can't remember the co-star's name. But it's just a unbelievably great music and just an inspirational film.
Speaking of great music and inspiration, and something happened this week, and I know you know about it, and I know you've probably talked to him multiple times. I have a few times. I always thought his work with the USO and our military was great. We lost a guy who was sick. We knew he wasn't doing well, but he kind of came back and then started to tour again, and then he lost his battle with cancer. And by now, everybody that's hearing this already knows. But I just thought, from a personal standpoint, I mean, Toby Keith is who I'm talking about. Never was big, didn't win a ton of awards or anything like that.
No, because of his personality.
Yeah,
it was never about the music, although the music in some kinds was funny and comedic. And that kind of music never gets it never gets appreciated particularly.
Yeah,
but he had a lot of fun music.
He did,
but it wasn't the kind of stuff that was award type of thing, like Red Solo Cup and How Do You Like Me Now, and I'm as good as I once was.
Yes,
but Should Have Been a Cowboy.
That was a great song.
Was the most played song.
Was it
of the entire '90s in country music?
I'll be darned. I liked one that was kind of obscure. Remember the one? I think it was called My List. Under an old brass paperweight, list of things to do today. Anyway, he had a lot of songs. I mean, he kind of had a formula for success. Did his daughter continue? I know Crystal
she got out,
not doing it anymore.
But he was, when he had his run, which was like '93 to '98 and a little bit in the 2000s.
Yeah,
when he had the hits, because he had "I Love This Bar" and he had a lot of songs.
Yeah.
But Red Solo Cup was a huge novelty record. That was big.
Isn't that something?
Red Solo Cup.
Oh yeah. I'm here to party. That was.
But he had stomach cancer, and and he fought it hard. We thought that he was kind of led everybody to believe that maybe it was in remission.
Yeah.
And then it came back hard and fast.
Yeah, and
took him out in less than 6 weeks.
Scary stuff. Well, Jimmy, always a pleasure to have you on. I'm going to go bet on the game now. You got me all worked up. I want to go gamble. I want to go gamble somewhere. I don't even know where to go. I'll go to one of the Indian
As they say, gamble responsibly.
Until next time.
Set yourself a limit and make sure someone's policing what you do so you don't try to play the college games and then start on the next day, well, I'm going to double up today. and play these. No,
This was your recipe for roulette.
yeah, no, there is no system.
I love it. Until next week, we'll do this all again right here on Sweeping the Country. I'm Derek Walker. He is.
I'm Jimmy Carter.
Good day.